Hi, it's Jeff Chalmers here from discoverdoublebase.com. We have a whole load of stuff over there. If you're a double bass player, I know that you will love the lessons, there's courses, we have gear reviews, and we have interviews, discussions like this one, where I'm joined by some wonderful bass players. And today it is Olivier Babaz. So thank you for joining us today, Olivier.
Hi, thanks.
We've got a question for you. You're known as an expert in jazz bowing. We love your videos that you've shared on YouTube and on social media where you're improvising bebop lines, and I've been a fan of them for a long time. But what would you suggest for beginner students who are jazz bass players who are getting into using the bow? What do you think that they should be working on to go from fumbling around with the bow to having a nice, clear voice?
That's a really great question. To me, the most important thing when you're playing bass is sound and time, rhythm. So basically, when somebody wants to have the first approach on the bow for a jazz bass player, for me, is if you don't have any technique or anything, just holding it the right way without hurting yourself is quite important.
Yeah.
But the basic thing is just to emulate your regular bass playing with the bow in the most efficient and discreet way. So instead of playing this, just try to do what you can to have it sounding the best possible way with the bow. And along the way, you will learn how you can have different kind of sound and what's working, what's not working. And at the end of the day, you'll play things that finally you wouldn't have played with pizzicato. So my advice is time, rhythm, and playing simple bass lines with it. And then afterwards you can build a stronger and wider technique, and you can learn to play melodies.
So do you just play what you've been playing previously, pizzicato, in terms of, say, walking bass lines with a bow? Is that something that you do? Or
walking bass lines, yes, but you will soon, as you will experiment with it, I mean, to me, it doesn't sound as good as 2/4 playing. For example, if you're doing this, this will playing exactly the same thing with the bow is important to experiment. But it might not be the best thing to play in a context of a band. So maybe you can just go a little lower. You will players will realize that themselves, but going on more lower notes and repeating more stuff will be probably more efficient.
Olivier, that sounds wonderful. And on that note, I think we'll wrap things up. But thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope that that has answered some questions for new students who are thinking about getting into using the bow in a jazz context. And if you want to learn more about that topic from Olivier, please go and check out his course, Jazz Bowing, over at discoverdoublebase.com. And we've got a whole bunch of free lessons and discussions on this topic. So I'm sure that you'll be able to learn something. So thank you for watching, and thanks for joining me today, Olivier.
Thank you.